Well, hey there, it's Jenny, and I was going to do some work for my own real estate team here in Tulsa, and I thought I would just do a Zoom recording of me diving into utilizing Pierre, which is an AI tool and friend of exactly what to say. So inside of the new Exactly Academy, which is an annual membership. You get all kinds of cool stuff, but what's most exciting is Pierre. But what we were wanting to focus on our real estate team is obviously we know the importance of taking seller listings. The more listings that we have, the more opportunities we will have. So we have over the years attracted people who were curious about the value of their home. And so we use Brivity as our CRM and also our home value website. So people could go and we advertise this through our emails, through any marketing that we have. If you're curious about the value of your home and they go to this landing page, they put in their address and then they would add some more contact information and then immediately we get notified of this new potential lead client opportunity, but also at that same time, they are getting an automated generic email report that's coming their way. So no matter what, they're getting something immediately, but now we want to additionally follow up. So we already have a touch plan in place. So what would happen is this lead would come in, they get the auto email, we get the notification, then we have an agent reach out as soon as possible. Hey, it's Jenny with the Wallet Group. We noticed that you were curious about the value of your home. How may I help? Going into a conversation that way. I'm sure that convo could be improved with the help of Pierre. But for today, my purpose is to ask Pierre, how now do we go back to these previous leads? They could be recent, they could be back in time. Somehow we have captured them because they've clicked on a website, raised a hand that they were curious. I want Pierre's help in crafting a plan, probably a plan that's going to have a call. And then I find most people don't answer the phone these days. So then I'd probably like to have a text message and then even an email as well. So we want to just, offer up options of how we can communicate. So let's do this. So this is exactly what to say.com. And if you wanted to come and see how you could sign up for Academy, it's right here. There's a tab. So I've already signed up. I'm already a paying member of Exactly Academy. And so what's exciting now is everything is all in one place. So Phil has a welcome intro where he shares what the point is of all of this and how to get started. I love all these P's here at the top. I'm a sucker for everything looking clean and nice like that. So we got a prepare. This is where you can do the work, like you can learn in advance, you can make a plan, you can practice, perform, prompt, and then participate, and then ask Pierre. That's what we're going to dive into today because we're going to have some fun. So Pierre is my new friend. I shared the post in my Facebook group, Your Aligned Journey, where this background story of Pierre. So Pierre is a character in Phil Jones's keynote. You've probably seen it. He holds up a pen. He asks the value of the pen, etc. So you guys can go watch and see the background of Pierre, but it's a cute way to have an AI friend here. So Pierre just asked me, just like your typical ChatGPT chatbot friend that you already are hanging out with, Pierre is just like that. But the truth is that he has been loaded up with all of the material, the teaching, the books, the coaching conversations, the certifications that Phil Jones has taught. So he is going to actually sound a lot like Phil, but his name is Pierre. So there you go. So I'm just going to have some fun here. What would you like to talk about? I'd like help in reconnecting with previous sellers, potential, we don't know if they're real sellers, potential sellers who clicked on our website for their home's valuation. We'll just go for that. Let's just see what happens. So I just said, here's what I'm wanting to do. And let's see what Pierre says. Oh, good. Here we go. It's a pleasure to assist you with this. Re-engaging online leads is an art form. That's for sure. Turning a purely digital click into a genuine human connection requires a delicate touch. These homeowners have already raised their hand. That's right. What's my home worth? And the challenge now is moving them from curiosity to conversation without them feeling sold to. To ensure I give you the most precise phrasing, tell me how much time has passed, what did they receive? What's your preferred method? Okay, cool. And then he's going to give me some advice. So he asked me some more qualifying questions, clarifying questions, but he's going to ask me some advice too. So my initial thought on principles at play is while you gather those details, I can share that most effective approach here relies on service over sales. True that. Most people fear that if they answer the phone, an agent will pressure them to list their home immediately. We must remove that friction. Phil teaches us to use don't worry, to lower their defenses, and pivot to checking the accuracy of the data they receive. Algorithms are rarely perfect. Your expertise is the bridge between a computer's guess and the market's reality. So great. So here are three distinct approaches you might consider. Option one, the customer service approach. That's really what we love, right? We want to be helpful. So this is best for the phone. So this is what that could sound like. Hey, it's Jenny with the Wallet Group, Keller Williams Realty. I'm reaching out specifically because I saw you requested a valuation on our site recently. Don't worry, I'm only reaching out to make sure the home value report you received is accurate. That's a great one, right? Robots seem sometimes miss the upgrades you've made. Have you made any significant changes to the home recently? This is perfect. It leads right into a question, and they're going to share hopefully anything that they did. The nudge, this is great for texts and emails to unresponsive leads. Hey, I'm guessing you haven't gotten around to reviewing the property valuation we sent over to you yet. When would be a good time for us to chat? I like it. Or curiosity, and that is best for older leads. That would probably be the case for a lot of these that we're going to reach out to. Hi, just out of curiosity, are you still looking to stay updated on the value of your home? I like that approach. Or have you decided to stay put for the unforeseeable future? I like these for different purposes, right? So if we're going to first attempt a phone call, I definitely like the customer service approach. And then for texting older leads, I like curiosity. And I think those are probably the best too. So I'm going to say that these are older. So probably 3+ months has passed because, what they, I don't know, what did they receive? They received a generic market report. And then what is your preferred method? Let's start with a phone call with the number one approach. Let's see what happens here. So I think we've already got some really good points and things that we could just rip off and duplicate and use. I just want to see how much further on along Pierre will take this and what happens next. Do you see how great this is? Because it does allow us to really then define what it is we're looking for, how specifically we want to communicate with them. Okay, so Pierre says this is a sophisticated choice. So using the service accuracy approach as a lead on a lead 3 months ago is powerful because it removes the pressure of are you ready to sell? Which, yeah, we know that's what they can be fearing or thinking, and replaces it with professional courtesy. Is your data correct? I love that. Since 3 months have passed, at least, the generic report may receive now is historically inaccurate, which we know the market is always changing. So this gives you a valid, logical reason to call. The market is moved and their data is old. Perfect. So here's how to structure this using Phil's principles. All right, the opening. Hey, it's Jenny with the Wallet Group, Keller Williams Realty. I'm reaching out specifically because I was updating my files and I noticed you requested a property valuation on our site at least a few months back. You can know whatever date that was if you wanted to get specific, or I would even just say in the past, because then it's just generic enough. Don't worry, I'm not calling to ask if you're ready to list your home today. I put in a little chuckle because we want to make sure they know that we're just, hey now. I'm simply calling because the automated report you received was based strictly on averages, and I'm looking at the market shifts over the last 90 days, and I'm concerned the number you have might be a little off. Just out of curiosity, have you made any updates or renovations to the home since you bought it that the computer would not know about? I like that. What do you guys think? So it's explaining then why this would work, using some magical phrases and questions from exactly what to say. The I'm concerned kind of feels pushy to me, but then again, I find that when I say things that are uncomfortable for me, they actually do a great job of working. And so it again is just because we want to make sure we're protecting them in their best interest. So if there is a no answer and it's going to the voicemail, which I don't know about you, I find that is the case most days. And since these are older leads, they may screen our call. Very true. And so the voicemail is here. So I'm just calling because I'm looking at the valuation report our system sent you a few months ago, and I think the number might be inaccurate, slightly inaccurate based on what's happening in the neighborhood right now. I'd hate for you to make plans based on old data. You can give me a call back it will only take a moment to update those details for you. So there you go. We're getting a callback option. I would maybe even then go and have a backup text. And that could even be I'm gonna wait, I might see if we can do an OFQ here. Handling the where we aren't selling objection. Do we get this? Yes, for sure. I'm not moving here till I die. I'm not leaving this house. I'm here forever. We get it all the time. So if they say they aren't selling, then, oh, we were just looking, we aren't really thinking about selling right now. Do not fear, do not retreat. And then we can just say, I understand. Most people I speak with are just keeping an eye on the market. So you're affirming how they feel. However, since your home is likely your largest financial asset, how important is it to you that the valuation you have on file is accurate, just for your own net worth tracking? Perfect question because they will probably be interested in an updated approach. Okay, these are great. Does this feel natural for you, or would you like me to adjust the renovation questions to something else? I feel like it's pretty good. I'm going to say these are great. I always like cheering on my chat. These are great. Please just help with a follow-up text or when it goes to their voicemail, maybe even use an OFQ, which is an opening, a fact, and a question that comes right from exactly what to say. So let's see. Hopefully, Pierre knows about an OFQ because I find these are a great way to send a text to somebody who may not have you in their phone, and then you have a polite opening, a mutually agreeable fact, and then a question that is very easy to answer just to put the ball in play. Okay, here we go. That's exciting. This is an excellent instinct. Thank you, Pierre. A text message sent immediately after voicemail significantly increases your response rate because it moves the conversation from a synchronous demand, talking right now, to an, oh gosh, really, a synchronous, whatever those words are. This must be a British thing. Convenience, replying when they can. Using an OFQ framework here is brilliant because it anchors the text in reality before asking for a response. Here are three ways to execute this. Okay, the renovation, best for engagement. This is the strongest companion to the phone script we just discussed. It compels them to reply because homeowners hate the idea of their asset being undervalued due to missing data. Okay, the OFQ opening. Hi, it's Jenny. I just left you a voicemail regarding your home valuation report. So, do you see how that is hello, I'm polite, I'm Jenny, and here is a fact. I left you a home valuation report because remember they had clicked on something, so that is a fact. Online algorithms often miss the specific upgrades homeowners have made inside their property. Have you made any updates or renovations recently that the computer wouldn't know about? So, why this is an easy to answer question is because if they've made home improvements, they're going to be proud of them. Yes, we just gutted the kitchen, all new countertops, cabinets, fixtures, etc. Or no, we have not done anything to this house. It's an easy to answer question. Then we're going to have a couple more options. So if you feel the homeowner is more analytical, then you could go at it a different approach. I'm looking at your automated report you received a few months back in the market data, and your neighborhood has shifted since then. Would you be open-minded to me sending the adjusted number so your files are up to date? Ooh, I like that one too. Would you be open-minded to me sending this number? It's a yes or no. I like yes or no OFQs. And then we're going to end with the cliffhanger, which then I think that your price might be off from the previous report. When would be a good time to connect that for you? I'm not a fan of that one because they're going to say no thanks or unsubscribe because that one feels a little rougher to me. All right, so since you are using the accuracy phone approach, option one is the most seamless follow-up. Yes, I'd agree. I'm just going to say yes. That sounds good. Now, the fun part about this, and as you know, because you play and hang out with your ChatGPT all the time, probably like I do, I think that you will get more comfortable in asking questions and diving deeper and maybe even pushing back when needed. For today's purposes, I was just getting a generic overview. Now, the cool thing is I can save this chat, I can paste it into a document, I'm going to share it with the team. Then everyone has these different tools that they can utilize when following up with these leads. So they all are consistent and sound good. So let's just wrap this up here today. All right, so now we've got our renovations text script. I love that one because they're going to be proud of it. And then it's going to even keep going and say how to handle that when they reply. Because a lot of times we're going to say, this is great. I don't mind making the call or sending the text, but then what next? Well, the what next would be, here you go. When they text back, for example, yes, we redid the kitchen last year, we added a deck. You're not going right for an appointment yet. Your goal is to deliver on your promise of service. You could just say something like, that makes a big difference. Would you be open-minded to sending me a few quick photos of the updates so I can adjust manually for you? Oh my gosh, this is amazing. Because listen, this is a micro commitment. If they're going to send you pictures, I'm sure they're on their phone already. It's much easier for them than agreeing to a home visit. But now you're already getting this relationship going back and forth where they're trusting you. This is brilliant. I love this. Are you ready to send this out? Or would you like to role play it if they pick up the phone? Oh my gosh. Okay, well, I'm just going to go for a role play just for fun. Let's role play. Let's see what happens here. I think that what's going to be fun inside of Exactly Academy and why I think you should probably go ahead and sign up is there is going to be a role play partner. So rather than having another human, you can actually role play with Pierre, which I think is going to be very exciting and probably a little less stressful. Oh my gosh, this is so fun. Okay, there's no better way to build confidence. I will play the role of homeowner. Let's assume I'm slightly busy, perhaps cooking dinner or watching TV. So my guard will naturally be up, but I'm not hostile. Okay, thank you. I like that. So my goal is to execute the accuracy check opening that we discussed. Remember to use don't worry early to lower my resistance and pivot the renovation question. Ring, ring. Hello? So my voicemail. Hi, it's Jennie Wallach with the Wallach Group. Of course, I would have an exclamation point because I'd be very enthusiastic. I'm reaching out specifically because I was updating my files and I noticed you requested a property valuation on our site a few months back. Don't worry, I'm not calling to ask if you're ready to list your home today. And let's just see what happens if I stop there or if I should have kept going into the next part, which would be about if they've made any home valuations. I just want to hear what the other side would say if you were to just kind of pause there because it might be give us a little bit of pushback, right? Because I should have just kept going. Oh, okay, good. Because honestly, we aren't thinking about moving anytime soon. We were just curious. Isn't this a very common answer? Yes. Okay, Pierre's coaching is telling me that I have lowered his guard. I've admitted I'm not selling, but I haven't hung up on you because you promised you weren't trying to sell me anything. Now I'm going to use the next step, which was the renovation part, right? And so I'm going to just copy and paste here from above. I'm simply calling because the automated, I'm going to leave all of this. The automated report was built on averages, the market maybe has shifted, and then have you made any updates or renovations? So I'm really just saying everything that was already part of the conversation. And now let's see how this goes. Isn't this fun? Okay, brilliant. I sounded calm, professional, entirely non-threatening. I love that. Because you asked about the house rather than their motivation, I'm now happy to answer you. So, in the character of the homeowner, yeah, actually, we finished the basement last winter and put in a new deck out back. I doubt the website knows about that. Pierre's coaching. You have the hook. You have confirmed that their automated data is wrong. Now we need to move to the appointment. Do not make it sound like a listing presentation. Make it sound like a data collection. Ooh, I like that. So my first move is I'm going to validate their work, explain the gap, ask for the time using when would be a good time. Try saying this. That explains it. The algorithm usually counts a finished basement at 0 because it simply can't see the quality of the finish. I love to make sure your file reflects this true value. When would be a good time? Okay, well, I'm just gonna copy and paste and just go right back at it because I think that's a brilliant answer. So I'm just gonna say that explains it. You made updates, but that's not gonna be reflected inside of a market report. And then I'm gonna ask when would be a good time. So there you go. I think this is fun. I think it's easy. I think it's coming from adding value. It's asking more questions before setting an appointment or saying that your market report is definitely wrong, but rather not making them wrong or the value wrong, but just the data is wrong based on a lack of information. And that is our job. So let's just see here. All right, spot on. Thank you so much. Then you could just continue to keep on going. I think it's probably going to say the homeowner says, look, I appreciate that, Jenny, but honestly, we're super busy with the kids right now. Like I said, we aren't selling for at least a year or maybe two. I don't want to waste your time coming out here when we really aren't ready. Very common, right? This is what we hear all the time. This is the guilt objection. So Pierre is trying to protect my time because I don't want to feel obligated to you. Do not try and convince them to sell. Do convince them that the visit is valuable regardless of when you sell. So, if then. So, I understand this completely. Tell me when you will be in the neighborhood. Okay, so this is what Pierre is telling us to do. Just to agree, hey, I completely understand. And then I can just say, I was going to be in your neighborhood anyway, so it wouldn't be extra effort. And then an if then statement. So it could sound something like, I understand, and please don't worry about wasting my time. I'm actually going to be in your neighborhood on Thursday anyway. If I could pop my head in just for 5 minutes to see the quality of the basement, then I can update your file so that when you are ready in a year or two, we aren't starting from scratch. Would you be opposed to me swinging by around 4 just to keep our records accurate? I love it. This is great. It's again just focusing on deepening the relationship because that's what it's about. The converse, you ask questions, you got to have a conversation. Now you have a relationship. They've sent you pictures and you feel like you're deepening this friendship that they can trust you. And then that is when you get opportunities and that opportunity of popping in, saying hello, and making new friend, getting face to face, showing them that you're a real person and not a robot behind the computer screen. I think this is just brilliant. So let me know what you think. I know that was a long tutorial, but I wanted to play with it anyway. And thanks for joining me and coming along. if you have some interest in joining Exactly Academy and learning inside of there with me and others and hanging out with Pierre and asking him great questions, let me know because I've got a link where you can sign up and hop in ASAP. You can have instant access to all of this stuff. See you later. Bye now.